Welcome to another special edition of Limpsync Tips and Tricks video tutorials. I've got something amazing I want to share with you today. We're going to talk about acting tips. Yeah, I was thinking, what's something really cool and unique that I can share with you guys that I'm sure you can't find on Smoley. I've been really into acting lately and I was very passionate about it. And I've been getting some pretty cool joins and I've joined others on. But in the course of it all, on a lot of the joins that I've been getting, I've been realizing that there's some classic pitfalls. And I thought, heck, why not share that with all you guys and make your lives easier? So I think no matter what level you're at in acting, and I'm certainly no professional, I can really help you out. So I typed up some notes. And I'm going to read off of those as we go through. So please enjoy the following. This is a 10-minute express yourself video format. We're going to use all of them. 9 minutes left. So here we go. So the first tip when you're acting is that when you join someone, you want to try and match their audio environment as best as possible. So what do I mean? Well, personally, for example, I will pick Super Studio somewhere between, let's say, 14 and 20 on my reverb and a room size that's smaller and more intimate, okay? So I might do, I got the sun in my eyes, I might do, between 14 and 20 and a small room size of 0 to 4 to make it more intimate. Now, a lot of the joints that I get have really high reverb and room size. Like, people will join me like in an arena size, like they just came off doing rock or some heavenly, love song with really high room size and lots of echo. And that just doesn't sound professional. It doesn't sound believable. So, keep that in mind. You want to match your partner's audio environment so that your acting appears more believable, okay? And when you're engaging and sound like you're producing in the same environment, that you're acting in the same environment, your audiences will immerse themselves because they'll find it more believable. Okay, so the same goes for volume. Volume is really important. So, if your partner is, it has a lower volume, you want to try to match that volume if you can, okay? Same goes for clarity. So, let's say your partner holds their mic here and they're sounding really clear, but you're used to letting it hang way down here or far, far away, under your clothing or whatever. Well, that's not going to work. So try to match the clarity as well. All right, what else? So just like in music, rhythm. Rhythm is so important in acting. But what do we call it in acting? It's timing. Timing, yeah. So timing is super critical. So you don't want long pauses between lines. This is one of the hardest parts in joiners, I've noticed. A lot of people think that reading lines quicker makes them look like a smarter actor. But they just as quickly realized that they just created too much time gap, what I call time gap. There is something to be said for time gaps, again, my term, which are analogous to rests. They're analogous to rests in music. The sound or meaning in this case resonates during the silence. It's like when someone talks to you in real life or asks you a question, it's more respectful and actually makes you look better when you take time, a little pause before answering their question. This is an interview tip, true, when applying for jobs. If you just reply with a knee-jerk response quickly, it makes you actually look dumber, not smarter. It pays respect to the person who asked the question, if you will, or read the previous line by taking a moment to process that, to appear to have processed that. Okay, that's sort of emotional resonance, all right? Tip number 3 comes from my co-star, Mel, my friend Mel, who says, apart from studying the role first, of course, right? You don't want to look like you're reading it. You want to feel your character and envision it as your life right then and there, if that makes sense. and props. Yeah, this is not a good prop. This is just blocking the sun right now. And this is certainly not acting right now. So props can really help. Something simple, a hat, a knife, whatever, whatever is appropriate for this scene. All right, number 4, relatedly, one of the biggest turnoffs, okay, is when you see someone do a one run, okay? When that run they published should have been a walkthrough. You can totally see how they fake it in the 20% errors that show up. While audiences appreciate a good performance, of course, they really remember what you did wrong. So keep that in mind, all right, before you hit start. Even if you have to just preview the script or the lyrics, okay? Just read it at least once through. Because you may think that you did a decent job and you're confident in your skills, you're 80% confident, but the audience doesn't care. They're gonna see and remember the 20% errors. Also, I've seen a lot of joints where beginners come out guns blazing. They heard somewhere that acting is all about passion, like what I'm doing now, okay? So they start their first line and they come out with big passion, and it just doesn't jive. Just like in singing, the great singers out there, the professional singers, they build up to that stuff. Same concept with volume, by analogy, okay? A crescendo, decrescendo. You don't just come out guns blazing, okay? So you build up, you let the audience engage with you first, get to know you first, okay? What's next? Remember too, and I rarely see joiners do this, continue acting and reacting, facial gestures basically, while your partner is acting. In other words, don't just wait for your lines to act. While your reactions won't always be seen, both of you will often be in the shot, okay, while your partner is speaking their lines. So your reactions can even be a subtle turn of the head, while your partner is saying their lines. And that's a communications trick in general in life. One of the tricks to win someone is actually to turn your head subtly. And what you're doing is you're putting your ear towards them. It shows that you're listening, okay? You'll see good singers do that too. When they finish their part and then you're singing, they'll often do a subtle head change and then like they're listening to you. Because the worst thing in life and communications is to appear that you're not listening to the other person. The same goes for blinks. You can, even though the other person's reading the lines, you can kind of go like this. You'll see me do this in some of my recent acts. I'll turn my head, I'll blink. Blinking shows that you're processing what they just said, So these are just little nonverbal cues to simulate engagement. And the audience wants that engagement. They want to immerse themselves. They don't want to see you two as actors, They want to just immerse themselves. All right. Another tip I thought of is that actions or reactions don't always have to be consistent. I see a lot of joiners keep the same face from line to line because they're afraid to look inconsistent. But it doesn't jive with real life. You're trying to look strong, but instead it just makes you look weak and scared. It gives you less emotional depth. In short, it makes your character look boring, predictable, and monodimensional. So don't think about that too much. There is something to be said for consistency, but it's okay to be inconsistent sometimes. Now remember, last 2 tips. If you screw up, okay, like you miss a line or something, just make believe it didn't happen. Just continue. Don't draw more attention to your mistake by saying things like, oh, I really screwed that up. Because as you're saying that, you just missed another line. So stay in character, as they always say. You can always make your confessions in public or private comments later, okay? Finally, sometimes you have to improvise. Okay, relatedly. So sometimes, I say relatedly because sometimes the arranger uploads, and when they upload, they screw up the timing of the lines. You see this sometimes. And maybe your line rolls through way too slowly, and you're waiting for your line, and it doesn't appear, or your few lines, and it's awkward. And so what you do in those cases is you're smart. And if you're understanding the concept of the scene, you can actually fill in a line. Don't do this often. It's rare. It's a rare trick. So generally, though, you want to keep true to the script. Guys, I hope that these 11 tips and tricks for acting make a big difference for you. Like I said, I'm not a professional actor, but I really love it. And I love to make other people's lives better by sharing information that I have. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, this will post on my YouTube. I don't get paid for my YouTube. I just do it for fun under bit.ly/capital L hyphen all caps TNT. Thank you. See you.